Isn't that just a stinker? Sad. Good God. We're going to go invade another country. That's what's about to happen there. Yo, what's going on, Arkansas Razorback fans? How you doing? I'm wearing the beanie because I had not expected to do this, and I need a haircut really, really badly. So I threw a look at that. I've worn this before. It's been a while. I like the beanie. Okay, Arkansas. Here, I'll show you what it looks like. Right there. There you go. That's what's going on. It looked like that before I put the beanie on. Let's try this again. Ugh. For any of you Mass Effect fans, you know what's up. Okay, no bowl game. Season over, 3-7. Again, I had not expected to do this. How you guys doing? We got to do this right, though. We got to do it right. Let me turn that off. We're going to do this right. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Yo, what's going on, Arkansas Razorback fans? SEC fans everywhere. Welcome to the one and only Pig Trail Network YouTube channel. I'm Ty Hudson, the creator of the PTN and the host, co-creator of the Hog Talk podcast. If you guys haven't listened to the Hog Talk, you're missing out. Good stuff over there. And I'm usually the Friday guy. Kyle Sutherland's our Monday guy. Porter Hayes is our women's basketball. Cabo's baseball. We've got Keith who does our graphics. Special shout out to all those guys, of course. So many messages held for review. I'm gonna have to get a mod in my room here to keep up with you guys and your comments. TCU got the coof. Looks like they couldn't avoid COVID-19. My guess is some kids went home, didn't really socially distance or wear a mask or whatever the hell, and they got the coof. Look at this, another one. Look at all these. Oh, I couldn't even do it. It says error. It's not letting me. You must have deleted it. We played with practically walk-on defense and 53 players barely. TCU. Give us Iowa. That is the most recent. That's the game that seems to be realistic with Iowa. Do we get a different bowl game? Well, considering you have such, you've got to find someone within, I don't know, now? I know multiple news organizations have reached out to the bowl committee to find out. In fact, I pulled an article up. This is from ozarkfirst.com. No bowl game for Arkansas. And, oh boy, this site is riddled with... it is ozarkfirst.com, though, right? I mean, this is what they said. Fayetteville, Arkansas. Arkansas will not be playing in a college football bowl game. Thursday night's Texas Bowl against TCU has been canceled because of COVID-19 within the Horned. So this multiple sources saying that this came from TCU. But from within the Horned Frogs program, bowl reps reached out to other schools to replace TCU at the last second, but none could be found. Arkansas finishes the season 3-7, and we're looking to snap a 4-game losing streak. Sam Pittman was going to be the first coach to lead Arkansas to a bowl game in his first season in 22 years. Yeah. We all know who the last guy was to do that. Petrino didn't do it. I mean, if you're following if you know basic math, obviously we've hired Petrino within that time frame. Brett Bielema didn't do it. Again, obvious there. John L., the interim coach, he didn't do it. Chad Morris, shocker, he didn't do it. Who was the guy? It was Houston Nutt. I was in, good Lord, I was in like 8th grade when Arkansas made a bowl game. His first year, as a first-year head coach. He would have. Now, by default, I get some people are going to argue, well, yeah, but there was no minimum threshold for wins this year. And that's why he was able to make a bowl game. But I'm telling you, had Arkansas played their normal schedule outside of TCU, let's be honest, if you can beat SEC teams, Ole Miss was pretty decent. You should have beat Auburn, right? I mean, that's an asterisk game if there ever was one. LSU, had you not had four defensive linemen out. I think you ended up in that game with 5 starters out, if I remember correctly. So, and then you lost Catalon. You had the blown fumble, the no clear fumble recovery that would have been on their 20 or 25-yard line. Just a screwy game to begin with. But I think LSU would have been a win had COVID not struck. You would have should have beaten Auburn. Yeah, I mean, he would have, had they played a normal 12-game schedule, Arkansas would be in a bowl game regardless. I feel pretty comfortable in saying that. I think a lot of you guys will agree. Please like the video. Let's get the likes up, guys. 3 likes. Come on, help me out. There's 50 of you in here. Let's get the likes up. Can we get to, 30? Do me a favor. Yeah, for whatever reason, I can't clear some of these messages being held for review. Ooh, no, Chad couldn't even raise morale. Fire Pittman for not pushing to play this bowl and hire Chad Morris again. He was a good recruiter. That's obviously a troll. Jesse Bro is a bing, bang, boom. Look at that. 22 likes. Yeah, do me a favor, too. Share the content. That'd be great. I'd appreciate that. It's hard. It's hard, man, to push this content out. It really is. It's hard because you can't advertise anywhere. If you go to a message board, which I tried on one of the public free boards years ago, I got just ravaged. People were so pissed off that I tried to share a video there, and I was like, all right, cool, whatever. Reddit, you can go to Reddit, and it's kind of give or take there, right? But not a whole lot of traction. It's difficult, so if you guys would help me out sharing the content, it'd be great. Boom, first like. Get you a blanket pool. I don't know what that means. What does that mean? Kevon Pippin, I have no idea what that means, bro. Kick him to the curb. I'm not going to boot him. That's his opinion. I'm not going to boot someone for having an opinion. It's a horrible one, Jesse, with your awful opinion there. It's terrible. Give us the trophy, says Dragon Slayer. Dragon Slayer. Sounds like a Skyrim character. Did Arkansas do the right thing by getting Briles over Lashley? Boy, that's a loaded question for this video. I think so. I think Kendall Briles did a pretty good job, all things considered. Pittman better get the credit for getting us into a bowl his first year. Again, Sean, yes, because I really think, had you gone 0-10, you're not going to a bowl game. I get that, but there was no minimum threshold. If anything, bowl games this year, it's just whoever the Bowls wanted, right? Whoever they wanted. Again, had this been any other year, though, I agree. This would have been a bowl game, without a doubt. We need to declare ourselves Texas Bowl champs like UCF and their natty. It's what I say. Kevon, sorry. It's what I say when I lift heavy weight. Currently at the gym while watching. Oh, okay, cool. Well, thanks for watching, man. While getting in your lifts. If you guys ever watch, off topic for just a second, what's his name? Ed Bassmaster. It's not what you think it is. It's not redneck material. It's this guy who just does these random characters, and he does this psh character where he walks in public and he goes psh. That's all he'll say, and it just pisses people off. He'll go to car lots, but some of my favorite ones are when he goes to gyms and he does that. These guys are lifting heavy weights, and he walks up and he looks like a goofball. And these guys are bench pressing a ton of weight, and he'll walk up and he'll look him up and down, and then he'll shake his head. Unreal. Psh, and then it's hilarious. You got to watch it. You still get credit for winning. It had they played. Ty, are you talking about the bowl game? Sean, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. I like Briles, but Lashley is doing a great job at Miami. Yeah. I'm in Walmart in Daytona Beach wanting to cry. It is a bummer. I In fact, the thumbnail for this video is the thumbnail I was going to do for a TCU breakdown. So I'll give you my honest opinion about that game while we're here. And if someone asked me about this matchup a week ago, and they said, how do you feel about it? I was honest then, and I'll be honest now. I never liked Arkansas in this game. Never liked their odds. TCU, and again, we'll never know. Game's not played. I know people in chat are going to light me up. I'm probably going to get a Discord DM or an email like, Ty, you're wrong. But whatever. It's my opinion. And, I've been doing this for a while, and I got a chance to catch some TCU a little bit over the weekend. And I'm going to tell you, that was a matchup nightmare. You're talking about a team that had nearly 30 sacks in 9 games, beat a couple of ranked teams. I get it. The Big 12's garbage. I agree. It is. On paper and on video, though, they passed the eye test. They very well, had this been a normal year for them, you're probably talking about a ranked TCU football team. I just didn't like the matchup. Not even just because of that. Just because of what they did on the field, right? 200-plus yards per game on the ground on offense. So right there, we already know Arkansas's done a pretty piss-poor job at protecting the quarterbacks this year. If you go back and look at Pro Football Focus, they have Arkansas rated as like the 59th or 60th overall offensive line in the country. And here's TCU, who gets after quarterbacks as well as anybody in the country. They run the football, might be one of the best rushing offenses in college football, at the very least in the Big 12. And Arkansas is one of the worst run defenses in not just the West, in the SEC West, not just the SEC, but in college football. They are an awful, awful run defense. Even when they're at their best, go back to the Auburn game in the first half. Gave up over 212 yards rushing in the first half in that game. Did not like our odds against TCU for those two reasons, because of their ability to get after quarterback. Pretty sound defense. I think they had the number 9. I think Pro Football Focus rated them the number 9 secondary in the country. I just didn't like the matchup. I would prefer somebody else, but that was not going to be my takeaway from this game. My takeaway was the extra practices, the preparation. Not going to lie, I really wanted to see KJ start in this game. I was hoping Franks would kind of, nothing against Franks. Like I said last week, kudos to him. What a leader coming back. He didn't have to. He's going to play in the Reese's Senior Bowl. He didn't have to come back. And he wanted to. He wanted to finish it out. And I've got a lot of respect for him, for doing that. But I wanted to see KJ actually work with the ones. I wanted to see him be a part, because he hasn't. Even when he started against Mizzou, guys, he didn't practice with the ones that week. Franks did. Now, maybe KJ got in on some reps with the ones, but he wasn't a part of preparation with the ones. He wasn't getting the majority of the snaps with the ones. He didn't know for sure that he was going to be the guy until they were warming up on the field to play Missouri. I wanted to see KJ get that time to work with the ones, get prepared, insert your game plan with him at the helm, and then give him the opportunity to play against a really good football program in the TCU Horned Frogs. He also, I think, does make the offense better. Do you have a better chance of winning that game with Franks over KJ? Yes, because of what Franks brings to the table. His experience, big game experience, playing in hostile environments, playing in the SEC, doing what he's done while he was at Florida, being a part of a big-time program down there, coming here, what he did this year. I liked him better in the Mizzou game in terms of getting the win. Again, KJ wasn't the reason why you lost that game. It was a terrible defense. Your god-awful run defense. So, having said all that, I wanted to see KJ get an opportunity. That was the takeaway from this bowl game. An opportunity to find out a little bit more about yourselves, to get prepared. You're going to have Crawford, the OU transfer, who I'm really excited about. You guys are excited about these other transfers. I remember Xavier Kelly coming in. That was huge. Getting Kelly in, that was going to help with depth. I think it did help with depth. He didn't really prove it on the field this year. We'll see if he comes back. We're waiting on him and Jonathan Marshall. Like I said in yesterday's video, if you guys haven't had a chance, yesterday's video, it's out. It has nothing to do with this TCU game. It has everything to do with these guys that have announced, the seniors that have announced that are coming back. But Kelly was big coming back this year. And Jonathan Marshall, obviously, is the other guy. But, yeah, I really wanted this game to happen. I don't know. Hey, Ty, 90% of the 2020 class is pure depth and upgraded special teams players. Okay. Listen. Go listen to the post-signing game Hog Talk. Or signing day, not game. The post-signing day Hog Talk podcast. I graded that recruiting class out. And I think I was pretty fair. And I'm not very impressed with what they did on defense. Maybe they've got some diamonds in the rough. I don't know. But, yeah, you guys are excited about Kelly. You're excited about Levi Draper, who's another OU transfer. I'm excited about Crawford. That's the guy I'm like, there, between him and, obviously Franks was huge. Franks was the biggest one in the offseason. But Crawford, next year, watch out. I'm curious to see what he does. Daytona Beach keeps deleting his comments. What are you saying, Daytona? What are you doing? KJ will win the spring, and Hornsby will back him up. Come in packages, just watch. KJ will make a great quarterback for us in Bryles next year, especially if we get a normal spring. Oh, amen to that, though. If you get a normal spring, I agree. Who has said Kelly and Marsh are coming? Nobody has. Nobody has. Was that an if statement? It was. It was an if statement. If they come back. Maybe I didn't say that clear enough. My bad. If they come back. What is the chances we get another bowl or team to play? My guess is I really don't know. I don't know because these are unprecedented. We've never had this happen before, right? Like, when in history have you had bowl games, college football bowl games come into question? And we know how this went when COVID first hit back in March. It canceled everything. I don't think that's going to be the case. How many games have been postponed or canceled now, the bowl games? Was this like the third of the Power Fives? I'm not sure. Do you think Pittman and company will pursue Joe Hyman from Pulaski Academy? I'm not sure, but there's a lot of questions around that, around Joe. I don't know if I kind of thought about, I had an idea for a video about doing a mock-up on like some of the kids that Arkansas needs to target for the next couple of recruiting classes. And I wanted to talk about Joe Hyman. I really did. Let's see. Gus beat Saban, folks. Pittman never will. I don't know what that has to do with anything. Why not let Iowa play Arkansas? My guess is the Texas Bowl has to sign off on it, and then maybe I'm sure the NCAA has to have some input here. I don't know who gets the last say. I'm pretty sure the bowl games do, because the bowl games they're the institutions that are picking or that are making these things happen, right? They're the ones creating these matchups. So I'm not entirely sure. We've never experienced anything like this before. I don't know. They were pissed Mizzou bailed. Coming in late, so why the cancellation and who was it on? It was on TCU, Mr. T-Dub. They got the coof. They got COVID. This is on them. This is not on Arkansas. This is absolutely on them. Why not just postpone it a week? Problem solved, says Austin Payne. I don't think it's that simple. It should be. I agree that it should be. But, they get these dates. They get these dates, and the way it's always worked is they have these all planned out, obviously, before the season starts. And I don't know. You guys are. I'm with you. I have no idea. Boy, Sean is just all kinds of heated today. Wow. Oh, good question, Mr. Mustafa. You think Pittman will go after Tykees Crawford now that he's in the transfer portal? It's a good question. Tykees Crawford was formerly committed to Arkansas, if you guys recall. Big-time 4-star tackle. I think he had some great issues. Had to go to a smaller school. Now he's in the transfer portal. It all depends on whether or not he's eligible, to join Arkansas. I think grades are going to have to play a factor with him. But Crawford had some big-time offers. TCU allowed their football players to go home for Christmas break, and boom. Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, look, what are you going to do? Tell them they can't go home for Christmas break? I mean, I don't want to be that dick. Do you want to be that dick? I don't want to be that dick. I don't want to be like, no, you can't go home. Screw you. Screw you and your family. You got to stay here No, I wouldn't do that. I'd say, you know what, go home but be safe. Please socially distance. Stay home. Play video games. My God. You know, you've got Oregon players who boosters bought them PS5. I'm sorry. I mean, who gave them their PS5s? Was it the bowl game? Did you guys see that? Oregon got PS5s. I'm over here like, yeah, I'm sure they already got. I'm sure this is like their second PS5. Let's be real. Come on. Oregon got busted several years ago for some huge NCAA violations not that long. Well, it's been a while now. We wonder, like, where did Oregon come from? I don't know. They started playing the game. Now they recruit, like, insanely well. Is he academically eligible? I don't know. That's the question. He's a big-time player. Crawford is someone I can remember during his recruiting process. They were talking about him, multiple P5 schools that had offered him that he would compete to not only make 2D, possibly even get some playing time. He was a big-time prospect. Do you think there will be a normal 2021 college football schedule? You're asking the wrong guy. You need to talk to people who monitor COVID. You know, you've got this. There's another strain of COVID. I'm not trying to fearmonger here. Please don't accuse me of that. But that's what the media, multiple media outlets, even those on the conservative and the liberal side have both confirmed. There's a new strain of COVID in Europe, assuming it stays there and everyone gets, I guess, depending on whether or not you trust this vaccination. Some people don't. Some people do. Maybe this is the key to slowing it down. I also saw where vitamin D. I should not be giving you guys, like, I shouldn't be saying this. My channel's gonna get taken down like that. But I think I've read vitamin D is really good. Need to take in all the vitamin D you can get. I don't know. I'm the wrong guy to take everything I say with a grain of salt when it comes to the coof. I just want to get 2020 over with this year. Just sucks. Glad we got Arkansas football and NFL, but it just sucks. Please, this is Crazy Hawk. Please, Lord in heaven, let there be. Oh, you're talking about a normal 2021. Yeah, Biden will shut everything down that he can. I'm gonna stay on. I'm not gonna get political. Mr. T-Dub knows what I'm talking about. Of course there is. It's immune to the vaccine too. Of course it is. Yeah, again, I don't know. You guys are probably more up to date on that stuff than I am. So, got to concentrate on basketball. That's what's next for Arkansas sports. I like their odds against Auburn. That's not what this video was going to be, but since someone brought it up, yeah, I like their odds against Auburn. Problem is, you've got a tough start. You've got a tough 3 games. Oh, I've had like 3 comments I've had to read over here. They're held for review. YouTube's not liking you guys. # beat Auburn. That's a big one. That is a big one. Auburn is. So, it feel like, too, it's not a revenge game because it's a different sport. Obviously, it's not football, but it would be nice to walk in there and just smoke Auburn, wouldn't it? Just kind of hint, nudge, nudge for what happened during the football season, right? NCAA will figure out how to shit the bed with basketball. You're probably not wrong there. Prediction tie on basketball tomorrow. What's your score? So I don't know. I do like Arkansas. If just looking at it like it is, I like Arkansas's odds. Auburn, not off to a super terrible start. They're 6-2, but you go back and if you dig a little bit, I don't know. It's kind of like Arkansas's non-conference schedule. You don't really look at anybody outside of Memphis. That's a good game. They played Gonzaga and got squashed. Of course, Gonzaga is going to do that to a lot of teams. They lost on the road to UCF, 63-55, and the Gonzaga game they lost 90-67. Gonzaga's good. They're really good. It's hard to look at that game and go, well, there you go. But yeah, tomorrow, or on the 30th rather. That's a big one. Yep, that is tomorrow. My days are all mixed up. If it does not feel like the 29th. But 6 p.m. ESPN 2. So if you don't have access to the game, go catch Luke Never Shaves on Twitch, completely free. I recommend you throw him a tip in the tip jar. He has a link. That guy's doing everyone a huge favor, streaming these games, and but I highly recommend it. It's Luke Never Shaves. There's no spacing. It's all one word. Luke Never Shaves. Go look him up on Twitch. Twitch is completely free, and go watch the game. Plus, you have the comment section. You can also hide the comment section. I know that annoys some people. I like leaving it up sometimes because it's funny. Some of the comments are pretty funny. But, yeah. Okay. Well, I think that's going to do it. I'm going to get back to dealing with the kiddos. We're enjoying our Christmas break while we can. Let's hope that 2021, the offseason is uninterrupted, that they have a uninterrupted spring camp. Really excited about all these seniors. Again, if you guys want to watch that video, I think it's a good one. Maybe I'm biased. Oh, by the way, what do you guys think of the background? I haven't even talked about that here. What do you guys think? You liking it? What's up, Jay Hogs? How you doing, bro? You guys like this so much better than the green paint in the posters. I've got the video games, books, comic books, Razorback media guides that I've read. I'm not gonna lie, I've got a lot. I've got a lot of media guides. I think I've thrown several away. Carter Huff, this is the saddest day. It is. I agree. Our basketball team has 0 inside defense. If we don't get that fixed, it's going to be a long basketball season. I don't know. I don't know that I completely agree with that, Tim. We haven't really seen. We've seen some odd matchups with Connor Vanover. Connor, I've said all year, like, that's a guy that he alters your shot, but if you want to power your way in, you're going to be able to move him. He's not, I mean, he's my God, he's a walking stick figure. You know? He's not one of these bulky, muscular, like Corliss Williamson would annihilate Connor Vanover. Not that he's going to see very many Corliss Williamsons, but he is and again, Corliss, look at his size, right? He's not 7 foot. He wasn't 7 foot when he played. Corliss was powerful, played aggressive, mean. That's why they call him Big Nasty. Guys like that maybe they're not even 6'9", 6'10", but they got some power behind them. Connor's going to get pushed around. Luckily for Arkansas, we haven't seen them sub that in enough with guys that could probably match up a little bit better. Ethan Henderson, who I think he plays a little bit more physical than he did last year. I'd really like to see more of Ethan when you have those kind of matchups. So I don't know that Muss has really adjusted to seeing when he sees that kind of defense being played or that kind of aggressive offense when teams are trying to play inside and they pass it down to their 4 or their 5 underneath down in the paint. We've not really seen him mix guys in there yet. Like, it's almost like he's testing these guys a little bit. So we'll see if he makes that adjustment. I do agree. They need to make some changes there. But Connor forces you to adjust your shot. You know, on top of the fact that he's a somewhat legitimate threat out on the perimeter on offense. Who would have thought you'd be saying that about someone who's 7'3", or even any 5 for that matter. Anybody playing the 4 or 5 spot, who would think you'd be talking about? It's like I don't know. I've never seen this before at Arkansas. I've never seen a 7-footer shoot like Connor does. So he stretches the floor out a little bit. We're going to see more of that. You saw him. I think Connor is the key. Like, Connor is the guy, right? But I think you're going to see some other guys in the 4 and the 5 spots kind of rotate out inside, and they're going to match up better. But they've not played anybody as talented as Auburn. We all know. Look, I get it. I say that, and everyone's like, Auburn cheated to get the talent. Yeah, we know that. It's Bruce Pearl. You're playing up against bought and paid for talent. You know, it's not going to be any different when you play LSU. Don't get me started on Will Wade. I think he's every bit, if not worse, than Bruce Pearl. But it's going to be a tough matchup. Auburn's not going to be easy. Wouldn't shock me if you went in there and you lost. But, yeah, they've got 2 losses. One of them really bad. Lost by a lot of points. But it's to the number 1 team in the country. Anything could happen. But your first 3 games right out the gate are tough. They are tough. Auburn, Mizzou, who's top 15 in the country, and then at Tennessee. Back-to-back top 10 games. Well, I mean, Mizzou's knocking on the door to be top 10. Then you play Georgia, and then you're on the road at LSU. You could argue, honestly, all these games could be pretty tough. And Georgia's not exactly terrible. They're 7-0. So SEC, outside, everyone says Kentucky's bad. Look at South Carolina, right? Florida's only played 4 games this year. We don't know enough about them. But, man, the top half, really, you look at the only team that's been the biggest question mark or what the hell's going on has been Kentucky. South Carolina has only played 3 games, but they're 1-2. I think do they play tomorrow? South Carolina going to play? Mississippi State, I didn't think they'd start off 5-3, but they are 5-3, and they're still pretty legitimate. Alabama, who everyone was all over Alabama. I think they had them in front of Arkansas, actually. I think the AP, whatever poll that was out had was it SEC Network that said Bama was top 5 in their power poll? They're 5-3, but got to compare schedules first. But this is going to be This is a tough beginning to your year in conference play. There's no easy games. When you look throughout this right now, the way it looks, I mean. Hell, even Ole Miss. Ole Miss is 5-1. We just don't know enough about the league right now. It could soften up as the year goes on, and we really start to figure out who's who. Then, of course, later on in the year, you got to play Oklahoma State. Well, later on in the year, that's coming up. When is that game against Oklahoma State? It's on the 30th, isn't it? Yeah, January 30th when you play Oklahoma State. So, and they just got busted for cheating. Oh, my goodness, shocked. Not really. All right, I do appreciate you guys. I really do. He is scary thin, says Sean. Tim says, I've seen inferior teams get the ball inside on us over and over, brother. I love it when people call me brother. Oh, brother. We will live and die by the 3 ball. Well, that's what they did last year, and it worked out pretty well. I don't think it's going to be like last year, though, Tim. They're going to struggle a little bit inside if Connor doesn't toughen up. But you've got more depth there. You've got more size inside. I don't think you're looking at that. I don't think you're paying attention to the others. You're longer from your wings, from your guard, from your 1 to the 5 spot. You're longer than you've been at Arkansas in years. You're more talented than you've been in decades. They've got some talent inside. And again, you're bigger and you're more athletic and you're more talented than I think at least half the league, if not more. I mean, with 2 guys in Joe and Mason Jones, who were how much of your scoring productivity a year ago gone, the media still put Arkansas, 5th? With who coming back? Desi Seals? So, this isn't just me saying that. That's the media. That's anybody who's paid attention to recruiting. They could fall apart. I don't think it's going to be just because of problems inside. And I do agree they are going to live and die by the 3, but that seems to be, I think Musselman's okay with that. And it worked out pretty well last year with no talent inside, with trying to develop Ethan Henderson as the year went on. And finally, towards the end of the year, Ethan Henderson kind of came along a little bit. So, and you didn't have a true 5. You didn't have size underneath, right? Ethan was like your tallest guy inside and your bulkiest guy inside. Jalen Williams is pretty physical down low. He is. Shot selection could use a little bit of work. Let them come inside and slap the ball into. I love that. True all. Good points. And again, I don't disagree about. I am a little bit. Connor did get pushed. I agree, Connor. I don't remember who that was. Was that UCA? Who was that? Is pushing him around, just having their way with Vanover. And I'm sitting here like, all right, let's change our lineup. Let's make an adjustment. He kept him out there a little bit longer than I thought he would. What do you think the SEC record will be? So I did say I was going to put out, like I did last year, where I did a preseason basketball and then a pre-conference look. I'm going to be real with you because of COVID. I really, and because of how COVID ravaged your schedule in pre-conference play. I don't know. I do think if with the kind of firepower that Arkansas has, good Lord, I mean, you're not going to have to rely on one guy to pick you up. You have so much firepower. Now, You're going to start playing a far more difficult schedule than what you've been playing. So you're not going to see them get to 100 points as easily as they did during Price. I say that, but you never know. But Moody, when he turns it on, Moody is arguably the best freshman in college basketball. We've seen that. He's at least one of the top 5 true freshman ballers in college basketball when he turns it on. Now, I say that having watched very, very limited amounts of college basketball outside of Arkansas. I watched Gonzaga a little bit. I've kind of kept my eye on a couple other teams here and there. I've watched a little bit of conference basketball inside the SEC, but good Lord, when Moody turns it on, I mean, he's unstoppable. He does so many things right. He has a clean shot. He scores. He'll find his way to the free throw line. He's pretty hot there. He's just a really good player, good size for the position. And then you look at Connor Vanover, who can stretch the floor. You're bigger and taller, like I said earlier, from top to bottom. There's not a spot 1 through 5 where you're like, maybe outside the point guard. I think we're still trying to figure that out a little bit, even though we have our set 5 pretty much. I'm a little bit like what's going on at the point guard spot, but for the most part, you're bigger, longer, more athletic than you were last year. And last year, you played a somewhat difficult schedule, and you still found a way to get to 20 wins. I like them. I think they're good enough to make the tournament. At minimum, I like them between 22 and maybe 25 wins. I think that's kind of their threshold. A lot could happen. Again, COVID, we've already seen Musselman. By the way, I guess he's cleared. He's going to travel. This Auburn game, I wouldn't look too much into it. I wouldn't look at this as like the be-all game. Whatever happens here is what's going to happen the rest of the year, but it is a very good test to figure out where you're at. Auburn is very talented. Then you got to play Mizzou. I really wish we didn't play them the second conference game of the year, but you have to play them at some point, right? I mean, you got to play them. You have to play Mizzou twice because of that rivalry. You know what's crazy is they could sweep. They're good enough they could sweep Arkansas. I've watched them play a little bit. They are good. They are so well coached. I way overlooked Mizzou. I didn't think they'd be this good. I thought they were top 40, top 35. I didn't know they were this good. They look like so far a top 15, top 10 caliber team. Auburn, I think, is good enough to be ranked. But who knows, man? There's some mismatches. Arkansas is going to cause mismatches against Auburn, but Auburn's capable of doing the same thing depending on who they have out on the floor. But I'm taking Arkansas to win this, but it's going to be single digits. I think it's going to be back and forth. It's going to be a close, tough. I'm hoping for a pretty well-fought game. Thank God Musselman can travel. All right, okay. I'm going to go. I said like 20 minutes ago I'm going to go deal with my kids. Ty, say it with me. F Mizzou. I hate Missouri. I hate Missouri. I hate that school. And no, it's not a rivalry. I'm sorry. I still won't. I don't. Sorry. I'm not sorry. It's easier to keep up with 15 basketball players than 105 football players. Well, you're not wrong. Agree. Sick of misery. It's starting to feel good to hate Mizzou. Feels good because you're good enough to beat them. You've been good enough to beat them in both sports, but for whatever reason, Arkansas's kind of struggled in that department. I got to find a sports bar around here to watch the basketball game. Hey, Ty, first time making it to a stream. Looking forward to basketball season. Oh, thanks, Flying Blind. I appreciate that. Okay. All right. Like, share the content. Subscribe if you guys haven't already. I do appreciate you guys being here. Let's try to get that to 50 likes. Can we get that to 50? Is that possible? Can we do that before the end of the day? Is that? Can we do that? Oh, I'm sure we can. You guys could do it. You can do it. Hit the like button, says Daytona Beach in all caps. Stay. Your kids are fine. My 8-year-old likes to boss the 6-year-old around. I'm sure she's in there. I'm surprised I haven't heard them at the door yet. Oh, look at that. 51 likes before I even got done with the stream. All right, mission accomplished. It's unfortunate. Arkansas looks like they're going to finish their year 3-7. I do plan on having a post 2020 grading video. You might be surprised. You know, I liked what I saw this year, but we'll go into more detail in a video. If it's not going to be an edited video, maybe a live stream, but I'm thinking about doing an edited video. I like doing those as much. But I like these live streams. I like being able to talk with you guys. So, yeah. Note is too streaky, but will win us a couple this year. I agree. JD Note, you guys watch out, man. The firepower is unreal. All right, like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. Check out the links provided for you down below. There is a PT and Patreon link if you want to join, be a member. It's only $4 a month. It goes towards helping out the channel. If you don't want to do that, there's a PayPal link provided as well, like a tip jar if you guys want to throw a dime in there. So until next time, unfortunately, obviously no post-game. Really bummed out about that, but hey, I'm glad we could do this. But until next time, Woo Pig, I'll see you guys around.